Rolling. Yeah, I mean, I've been called dumb once or twice in my life.
I always feel like that is just constantly increasing.
The volume?
I've been called dumb once or twice in my life.
Just keeps getting worse.
Yeah, it's like that McDonald's sign. It just keeps adding.
1 billion.
1 billion idiots
I've
served.
been called dumb 600 million times. Oh, what's going on, everybody? What's going
Dariush.
on? Dariush, what's going on, brother? You know what? If you say what's up in the chat, you can't give it to you yet.
No,
but
you can hit the button again and it'll just turn off.
I don't like that. I like to let it play all the way through. We paid for that. We didn't pay for it. But we got somebody to make us a sound effect. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to Two Dumb Idiots. I'm Nick.
I'm Kevin.
And if you haven't been a part of the show before,
why not?
You're an idiot. If you don't know, we're going to do nothing but positive stories, no politics. We're going to interject our dumbass opinions. This is a safe space, but if we get something factually incorrect,
that's your fault, because you know what you signed up for.
You know what you signed up for. The show is called Two Dumb Idiots. Today, we have an unbelievable show. I'm super pumped for you guys. We've got 5 or 6 really great stories we're going to get through quick in our grab bag section. And then we got a special guest. I actually brought
Me.
it. That would ruin it. What's up, you bunch of idiots? Joe, what's up? Hey. Welcome in, brother. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Yeah, we got a special guest in here. I thought I would mix up the dynamic and just bring in a guy that used to be my boss. Really take a shit on me.
Yeah, we want a real behind-the-scenes scoop on that.
Yeah, I want people to really understand what Nick's like. No, I brought a guy in. We're going to bring him in about 30 minutes. He's a boss of mine, a mentor. He's got all sorts of good advice. He taught me an unbelievable amount in a very short time, most of which went in one ear, out the other. I only absorbed a very small amount. That's right. If you're wrong, it's your fault. That's right.
I like it.
I like it too. You're starting
Maybe
to
that's going to be our tagline.
If we're wrong, it's your fault.
No. If
yeah,
we're wrong, it's your fault.
I like that. All right, let's get into our first story. If you don't know, we like to start positive. We like to kick it off with a good story to get your heart juices flowing. First story is one that gave me a chuckle. 90-year-old man. Actually lives in North Hollywood.
Yeah, local. We got to go. Maybe we'll look this guy up.
Local guy.
Drop off a care package or something.
90-year-old man was really upset. His internet was creeping. He said he pays for 3.5 megabits per second, and he said he was getting close to 1. So he paid 10 grand to drop 2 ads.
For 10 grand. How much? I think you upgrade your internet.
Right, straight up facts. Who else we got? Oh, man, you know what? We got to give a real shout out to my man. Ramathorn, welcome in. If you guys don't know, he's the moderator. If you say something ridiculous out of line, he will give you the boot. So appreciate you tuning in as well. He was upset about the internet. Paid 10 grand to drop a 2-page ad in the Wall Street Journal to complain about the internet and directly at the CEO. Yeah. This guy is
shots fired.
Immediately my hero. You're about to go right out.
Oh, it's a deep burn. Oh, so deep.
That's right. That's Two's line. Is it anyway? Me and Lamb are responsible for trying to pepper in dumbass quotes. That's his, and mine is. I have no chance.
That sounds like that's what he said when he was talking about his internet.
Yeah, there's a snake in my boot. That's probably the only.
He's a little upset.
The boot. Really upset. Took out the ad, and actually, to his credit, you can show the ad right here. It was picked up immediately. By I guess some kind of media. They called him the very day.
Yeah.
They actually had one of their, I guess they said escalation type units. That's their top escalation. Like if you burn down an AT&T building.
If you keep complaining, you're like, I want to talk to your manager.
Yeah.
I want to talk to your manager.
If you get the ultimate Karen manager, then this is the person that calls you. They call, they explain to him they are very upset. They're sorry, and they are going to try and get him some kind of internet. This story is great in so many reasons. Every time I get upset at a company, I'm always reminded of Bill Burr just screaming who's responsible for this? Who do I got to talk to, right? I want to go right to the top and bitch at somebody, but you never have that ability. So I think this is really great that he paid 10 grand and actually, I know this guy saw it, right?
Yeah.
There's no way.
There's no way that a news story in a newspaper isn't getting covered.
No way. No way whatsoever. No way whatsoever.
It is immediately picked up everywhere.
Here's the only confusing part.
He's 90 years old, which is
He's
confusing.
90 years old. He's really obsessed with internet, right? So that's kind of confusing to me. And then he's so hip with the internet, but he decides to take his anger out through a newspaper. So it shows he's still kind of caught in the old age. He's he's like watching Wheel of Fortune and then making a TikTok. Like he's kind of like he's not sure.
He's kind of like he's eating an early bird dinner, but also doing Fortnite dances.
That's right. He's kind of like he's wearing Skechers.
And wearing Skechers.
That's right. All right. Is there a fart joke for that? All right. Anyway, so that was
I'm sure there's a fart joke somewhere.
that was one of my favorite stories of the week, guys. Let's get that fart button all kinds of warmed up. Second best story of the day. Actually, we're gonna start with two positive stories.
Yeah.
So second positive story of the day. 3 Cubans survive on coconuts for 33 days on uninhabited islands. So the story is, what's going on?
Paul just liked your joke.
Oh, good. I'm glad. That's the only one that's going to be in the whole show. So if you didn't laugh at that, it's time to leave.
Yeah, clip it, put it on the internet, make us famous.
3 Cubans on an island. Their boat capsized. They rolled into this island. And they survived explicitly on coconuts.
I'm assuming rainwater, maybe too.
Maybe just coconut juice.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
maybe.
Yeah, clip it. So this story is great for a bunch of reasons. One, anybody that's ever been a human being has wondered what it would be like to caught on an island. And everybody's arrogant enough to think like, I would just kill a boar, cook it on the fire, purify my water, get a shower right.
Do you remember Swiss Family Robinson when you were a kid?
No.
It's very old, even when I was a kid. It was actually from like the 50s, 60s maybe. But it was this family that shipwrecked in like the 1800s on this island. They turned the island. They have like giant tree palaces, and they were like riding vines. And dad builds like elevators out of like,
These guys did not quite get to that.
Yeah, it's only 33 days, so they didn't have enough time.
No, they didn't. But I think it's a cool story. And then they actually have a video, right?
Yeah, so they were spotted by plane. And then the plane didn't have the necessary resources to get them specifically off the island. But so what they had to do is they had to actually drop equipment to them to like keep them safe, and they could communicate with them, they said, somehow. And then, so there's a video of them dropping off some supplies and stuff like that.
Now, I heard with the supplies that when they showed up, they said they were good. They just asked for like a laptop and a Netflix password. Is that true?
I think so.
Is that verbatim true? Somebody in the chat said they actually ate rats. I don't know if that's true, but we're going to give him an air horn for saying what's up anyway.
Who's that guy in the chat?
I think it's my dad. So
Yeah.
we're going to have to ban him right
Yeah,
jump.
Paul, get on that.
You give this guy the boot. So I like the story. I like the fact that they were able to actually survive on coconuts. I feel like coconuts should jump on
they
this.
just wanted some like rum and a blender. I think was really all they needed. They had the coconuts already. They were like, yo, pina coladas, baby, all day.
Some umbrellas, yeah.
Yeah, tiny umbrellas.
Laptop, Netflix, and some rum. That will be fine. Anyway, all right, let's get into our section. We so many good stories of the week. Actually, be honest with you guys, when in the last couple years, it's pretty much been all negative politics stories. We've been kind of getting lucky. There's been some like reemergence of like good, funny, wholesome, stupid fart stories. So
Yeah,
I'm
people
really,
seem to be interested in that for some reason.
I like it. So let's get into a little section I like to call grab bag. There's got to be something good in here. Got to be something good in here. Lamb, let's jump it off with the little Super Bowl story.
All right, yeah. So the Super Bowl last week, there was what almost was a tragedy.
Yes. What was the tragedy?
Local landmark, Ronnie's Pizza.
Been there a million times. Not sure what state it's in.
The police and the fire department got contacted because they were worried.
Whoa.
There was a bit of a fire going on late night at Ronnie's.
Whoa.
Not normally open late, tons of smoke flying out of that place.
What's the actual story, though?
The actual story, though, is the police and the fire department showed up. Ronnie's just cooking 10,000 wings, getting ready for the Super Bowl.
Okay, I like it.
So they were deep in it.
I hope that this is their new shtick. I hope.
So here's them getting ready for the Super Bowl.
I haven't seen that picture yet.
Yeah.
That's actually awesome. Oh my God! This guy is gonna have the lung of a coal worker.
I know. I can
Immediately.
see why there might have been some suspicion that something was going on. These fryers are not built to handle this capacity.
From now on, their menu is gonna say, "Our wings so fire, the fire station had to come."
Yeah. No, this place is fire.
This place is lit. All right, so I love that story. Ronnie, shout out Ronnie's for burning the whole city up with some wings. Let's go on to our next story. What's our next story? This is actually one that's kind of, how do they breathe? I have no idea. That guy's got a mask on, which...
I know the mask. I don't know if the mask is for like actual COVID reasons or just straight grease fire smoke reasons.
If that mask could talk, it would say, I'm working fucking double time right
that
now.
thing's probably he's gonna have to toss it when it's done, but it's probably got literally like a glazed donut look when he's done.
Of just grease. Yeah.
Grease.
Yep. All right, so the next story here is actually a story that's been out for a couple days now, but we didn't get to talk about it. So Kim Kardashian, she posted a picture the other day, and normally we don't get too deep in this kind of crap. What's up, Jared's in the house? God damn, Jared. Give him a blast, dude. I love it, Jared. Jared, we were missing your quips, dude, so get in here.
Jared, you have a daughter. How old is she now? 5?
6? So, yeah, so why is relevant? 5. Okay, so... maybe your daughter's not on this level yet.
Yeah, but soon.
Soon. So Kim Kardashian puts a picture up on her Instagram. It says, my daughter, North, painted this picture. Can we show the picture?
Yep.
There's the picture. She says, my 7-year-old daughter painted this picture. And just as anybody else would, people immediately started kind of screaming bullshit on that. People were like, yo, like, this is... People were like, this is junk. There's no way a 7-year-old painted this picture. And I'm going to be honest with you. When I first saw the picture, that was an
immediate reaction.
my reaction. There's no way, unless she's like an actual prodigy. And I'll be honest with you. I don't want to tell somebody, like, no, you can't go to art school, because that tends to go down a path.
Yeah, that's... history says that could be a problem.
Terrible joke. Okay. No. Okay. But in all seriousness, she came out to defend herself this week and say that, hey, like, no, legitimately, my daughter really did paint this joint. So we did a little digging, right? Mm-hmm. Because we were like, nah, no way she painted it. Apparently, people have been posting almost identical pictures of this and saying that when you go to an art class, this is one of the first pictures they will have you paint, or they're in some version of this. Paint by number, yeah, I don't know. But some inversion of this. And then you did some digging, and...
So, Vice did some digging.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by me doing some digging, I, read their article. And it has since come out that the child, North, spent weeks working on this painting with a teacher.
With the teacher, okay. So what's your, you said something to me off air, and it's not that you have a problem that, like, you're having your daughter kind of tutored by a nice art professional. You have a problem with not referencing it.
Yeah. Why in the initial post is that not mentioned?
Right.
Like, all she has to say is, my daughter worked with her art teacher for weeks, and she's super proud of her art.
Right.
That's it.
Perfect.
No one is upset in the least, and probably nothing but praise.
I 100% agree with you.
She purposefully left that information out.
Yeah.
Trying to get undue credit for her daughter.
Right. That'd be like if I was like 6 years old and I had Gordon Ramsay come over to my house and he was standing behind me telling me every single step on how to make like duck l'orange or some fancy dish, and it came out in this beautiful, symmetrically, wonderful aesthetic dish, and people were like, and then I just posted and said, my kid did this. People were like, nah, I doubt your kid's that talented, right?
Yeah.
Like, I doubt that's it. So we felt like, I agree, she should come out and defend her kid, like, that's cool, but you should say, okay, look, she really painted, she just had a little help. Like, there's no you said something also, you said, why does everything have to, on Instagram or even social media, why does it have to be perfect?
Yeah. Why can't it just be, like, you can't tell me that you sit her daughter down, even with this painting, again, and paint, and say, like a closed room, be like, I'll be back in 3 hours.
Right.
She's not going to paint it.
No.
That's okay.
That's okay.
She's 7. It's okay.
It's okay if you're 50. It doesn't have to be perfect. The fact that you're trying something on your own time, artistically or not, the fact that you're reaching out of your comfort zone should be celebrated, not critiqued. The only reason it's critiqued was because it was perfect. So we're over it. What's
Your
going
dad is taking credit for all your science fair projects.
Well, I didn't do very well in the science fair project, so they're all yours.
What is that?
You
Yeah,
got
he's
it.
getting it.
Oh, it's a deep burn.
Deep burn.
Oh, so
Okay,
deep.
it's so deep. Okay, let's go on to our next story. Speaking of works of art,
Yes.
right? Is that fair to say?
Yes. This is a true work of art.
Right.
You do have to pay for it.
Yes, much more expensive than that North painting.
Yeah. Louis Vuitton.
You could say this is actually going south. Okay.
They are dropping their new sweater.
This is real. I know y'all are going to look at this and think we just made this shit up. We pulled it from some bunk website. This is real, bro.
Yeah.
French designer Louis Vuitton boasts about the jumper. Let's roll to this jumper here. There it is, guys.
You want the one guy's wearing a tiny Louis Vuitton scarf there.
This
Here's
is
the whole thing. If you need to,
I love that he's got like athletic shorts
yeah,
on.
because that's the look.
If you're wearing a sweater, put some jeans on. Not to mention, if we're being real blunt, that guy's face tells you what he actually
He is
thinks.
so miserable.
He's actually
Yo,
miserable.
you're gonna use this on the website? How much you paying me? Not enough.
Old reference. He's probably looking around like, where's Ashton Kutcher? Right.
Yeah, I know. God damn it.
Okay, so how much does this sell for?
So 5,800 pounds, which is approximately $7,500.
That's not bad.
It's a sweater, and it's also Friends.
It looks like to me like a kid that went as like Static Cling for Halloween. That's what it looks like to
I
me.
agree. It literally looks like, I don't know, like somebody happened to have a Velcro suit, and they were like, all these things were thrown at them as they were trying to like dodge them. It's like a game at the fair.
Yeah, just rolling around on the ground, picking up his kid's toys.
But this was designed by Teddy Ruxpin.
Absolutely not true. Look, I
Or
can't-
Miss Frizzle's third grade class. We don't know.
Okay, for real talk, we should make this sweater ourselves, dude.
Yeah, we could for...
Go online.
I need like 10 sock monkeys.
Yo, way
Just
funnier
nothing-
than that. We should like actually make sock puppets and just put those.
Those are
on.
our mittens.
They're mittens. Yeah,
These are our Louis Vuitton mittens.
yeah, and just stack them all on here. All right, what's our next story here, man?
Oh, my
I love that story. This is something that
Malk Wilson says he's sewing together Beanie Babies. $4,000.
that's not bad.
Half price, baby.
That's-
You get two.
And yeah,
Handmade.
and you're at the ground floor of a new kind of designer.
Artisanal.
Yeah, right. Yes. Speaking of artisanal,
Artisanal. Nothing but artisanal items at this restaurant.
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Speaking of artisanal, McDonald's bringing back its favorite, everybody's favorite. First of all, I am out of the loop. I didn't know High C had got the boot.
Me neither.
Were you aware of this?
No. I guess I like need it in my life so
Yeah.
little.
Yes.
They said 4 years it's been gone.
Wow. Okay, so I had no idea that the High C's been going that long.
But now it's coming back. Orange lava burst.
I would love to. Okay, this is this is like manufactured crowd noise, in my opinion. There's no way that there's like people waiting outside of McDonald's with like a High C sign, like bring it back. You know, like there's just no way there was that big of a call for this. If they had to bring something else back, what's that?
I want to bring back Ecto Cooler.
Whoa, that's almost before. Is that they used to have like Ghostbusters on the
Yeah,
side?
and then it was just Slimer, and then it was just like a really, I think it was like a yelling mouth made of orange drink or something. It was literally orange flavored High C, but it was colored green.
Is this any different than Powerade?
Yeah, this has got even less in it than Powerade. More sugar, less goodness.
Just okay. So if I had to ask McDonald's to bring something back, I would prefer they brought back the milkshake machine because I actually, true story. On my cheat day last Saturday, rolled in McDonald's, got myself some McDoubles. I asked, it was like 2 PM. I'm like, yo, can I get a milkshake? They're like, yeah, we regret to inform you that it's broken for the 700th day in a row. And you're like, dude, is this like an actual farce at this point? This is like something like at the top, the CEO's
yeah,
like,
we just don't want to clean it.
how long do we keep this going? You
Yeah,
know?
now it's just a meme.
I feel like, yeah. All right, let's get on to the story that's actually has an unbelievable amount of traction. It's a sticky story.
Yeah, a bit of a sticky situation. In case you haven't heard, this lady right here had made a poor decision.
Big poor decision.
She decided that Gorilla Glue spray adhesive heavy duty was gonna stand in for her hairspray since she was out.
First off, if you've ever had any interaction with Gorilla Glue, you've probably still have scars on your fingers from it. Like that's just real. Like it's just so
Crazy glue, you might pull a little piece off.
Yeah.
Gorilla Glue, I don't know what they're making that stuff out of.
Satan's
I know
saliva.
I know
have
it's
no
like
idea.
Satan's Velcro right
Yeah,
there.
I have no idea. But she just sprayed it in her hair, and it became an actual crisis. So this lady sprays in her hair. She tries what I can only imagine to be a dozen household products to try and remove it. The glue is so unbelievably strong. It even says right there, heavy duty. The glue was so unbelievably strong that nothing could get it out. So she goes to the hospital, right? ER. The ER tries paint thinner, which they said made it kind of mucky and gooey, but then it immediately hardened again. They tried a million different things in the ER. They couldn't get it. So this girl started a GoFundMe. In just a couple days, I think she got like $14,000 raised. It came out, though, that a doctor was willing to help her and actually had an idea, but the surgery was going to cost $13,000, but the surgery was today, correct?
Yep, and has been successful.
Yes, been successful. So she got it out of her hair. And I'm curious, what did they actually use?
So she's a little upset.
Hey,
what's up?
What's going on? We got a new person in the chat. Throw him a little bang, 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 bang. I'm going to be honest with you. If I was her, you know what she messed up? Should have been using that Flex Seal, bro. That's what she
Flex Seal ain't going to fix that.
You know what I mean? She'd have been killing it with the Flex Seal game. Flex Seal can solve anything.
I think, to quote Ron Popeil, just set it and forget it.
That's right. Okay, so what did they... Where's the fart noise?
You can't. That was good.
I know, but it made me laugh, so I got to fart you.
That's the opposite.
I know, it's kind of
I'm
bitter.
supposed to get like an air horn.
Kind of like a bitterness thing.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't come up with it, so it's not good. So I get a fart noise.
100% you're out. All right. What did they use to get out of here?
So apparently medical grade. What was it? Medical grade adhesive remover, which was unaware is a thing.
I didn't know that.
Aloe vera,
Oh, well.
olive oil, and a little acetone. Mix up a batch at home. Sprinkle it on your hair. You're good to go.
Blows my mind that olive oil was involved. Blows my mind. They're in like a procedure, right? And somebody rolls in with like a generic.
I hope it was like literally like, Kirkland brand.
That's what I'm saying,
like,
dude.
not like, oh, this is medical grade olive oil. Like,
It's so close to like ketchup, right?
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine?
yeah, I got sprayed by a skunk. Put some ketchup on it. Put some tomato sauce on it.
and-
It does seem a little homemade. Like, we'll get
ranch
some.
dressing.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. Ranch works on everything.
Yeah. But also, the part that pissed me and Lamb off is apparently she was considering suing this company because now you gave me this tidbit, which I thought was kind of interesting. She was considering suing because she uses some product called like Gorilla Spray.
There is a product out there called Mocha de Gorilla.
Okay.
And then her normal product is called Got to Be Glued. So if you kind of mix those two together, you get Gorilla Glue.
Right.
Whatever. That doesn't mean anything.
You can't sue. Look, if this lady wants any kind of like respect in the media, she cannot sue. She's gonna go to like lawsuit hell with the guy that like sued Red Bull for not getting wings. Like
That lady that sued Jelly Beans for like not because she didn't know they had sugar in
right.
them.
You just and the firefighter guy, right? What was that?
Firefighter wanted disability because he was afraid of fires.
Yeah, so he sued because he was like, "Oh, I should be allowed to work at the fire station even though I'm allowed to work. I'm scared of fires." Like, no, you want to? You go next door and be like
work elsewhere.
like be a paramedic or something, dude. So I'm kind of shitting on this lady because I kind of hope if she drops the lawsuit, it's a really funny anecdote. She could be famous by this all by herself. If she sues, I think she'll quickly kind of go down this rabbit hole of people hating her.
Yeah, if she doesn't sue, she could get that like Ocean Spray vibe kind of
Yeah.
guy. Get maybe a little bit of if she's smart, if she's just like nice about it. That was his key. He was totally in.
Yeah.
All about like positivity.
Yeah.
You focus on the positive, people love it.
Yeah. Start like maybe she does like some like collages with Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, maybe it's just like a commercial and it's her getting her fingers stuck to like the construction paper.
Yeah.
Damn it, not again.
Right. She could easily make some money off this if she wanted to. Not to mention you could say like, you know how strong it was? We had to go to the ER to get this shit. They're like, that'd be cool.
They're like, yo, trust me, I know how strong this glue is.
No joke. All right. I think let's get into it, right? Ready to roll?
Let's do this.
Okay,
thing.
so let's go. I'm gonna have Lamb do the technical aspect. I'm gonna bring on a guy, my main man Matt. He was my manager and my boss at the last job where I was doing sales. He rode me, pretty hard on my job, but he was fair. He called me on my bullshit. He gave me an unbelievable amount of life advice. A lot of fart jokes. The guy was really good for what I needed at the time. I thought he's good at motivation. He's been through addiction issues. He's been through picking himself up.
He's had to deal with you.
He's had to deal with me. He's led people like me and dumber than me. So, Matt, I'm going to give you a round of applause with a button because there's nobody here. But say what's up to everybody, man.
What's up,
There it is. Yeah!
Thanks for the intro.
right.
Thanks for the intro.
Thank you for your time. That's been great.
That's great. Yeah, appreciate it, Matt. We're gonna get out of here on that.
I'm ready. Swiss Family Robinson, Instagram. Like those are some good stories. Dude.
I appreciate
that. Brought me back to my childhood. Swiss Family Robinson. Let's go.
All right, appreciate that. All right, let's get into it. First question. Let's just loosen things up.
Okay.
What was it like coaching me? What was it like coaching? I mean, because it's got to be tough, right? Like you said, you coach children before, right?
Yeah, that's what I do for a living.
So that's got to be tough. But also, it's like, how do you mold so much like Denzel talent into like the right direction? You know what I'm saying?
When you have a Babe Ruth given to you,
Right? Yeah.
what are you doing?
How do you make a Mona Lisa better than it
Yeah.
already is? Right?
You are so ridiculous. Michael. Well, I never thought that I would ever meet the dude that did the Micro Machines commercials before, so I met you, dude. Have you ever seen the Micro Machines commercials?
I am old enough that I owned Micro Machines, and that guy,
that boy.
that guy is awesome and holds some Guinness World Records.
Really?
Yeah,
What,
fastest talking man in the world.
Hey, I didn't know that.
I think Nick might be able to give him a run.
I know, a little practice, I think.
Actually, real talk. My entire life, I've talked at 100 miles an hour, right? I've never really. I mean, people have said like, "Oh my God, you talk fast," but in that profession with you, it was a massive hindrance, and it got to the point where you had to let me know, like, dead ass serious, like, Nick, like, you're good with people, but if you don't draw that speech back, people quite literally don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like we've talked about it before. Nick's like whole objective is to get as many words out as fast as possible.
Correct.
I'm much more of a sharpshooter.
Yes.
Nick's more of a spray and pray guy.
So okay, with a guy like me, just as like a coach in general.
Me too, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, with a guy like me, as a coach, as a guy like me, what was like an approach? What's something that you remember about a coach? Any funny stories, maybe, or something like that about me as a student? Anything that you remember?
Well, yeah, I mean, getting you to talk slower was an objective of mine your entire career with me, buddy.
Yes, correct.
But people typically don't enjoy getting feedback. There's a lot of people don't enjoy getting feedback. And so I don't know if you remember this or not, dude, but
I can't wait though.
Do you remember? Like,
I don't know.
So we went to go. You said you had a deal, and we went to go follow up with that guy at the smoke shop in Glendale. Was it in Glendale? No, it was in Pasadena. It was in Pasadena. Okay.
Pasadena.
So it didn't go so well, right?
It didn't. I thought the deal was closed, and then it was not closed.
Yeah. So I sat and let Nick do his thing, and Nick had this thing like where if we met with a particular type of an owner, and it wasn't going where Nick wanted it to go, you could see it in his face. You could see it in his face where Nick would just zone out. And then, like he would just check out and zone out because he was so angry. So on this particular instance, that kind of happened. The guy just kept beating around the bush with Nick, not giving him an answer. And when we left, I wanted to give Nick some feedback, and he was so red in the face. I was like, "Hey Nick, I don't think I can give you feedback right now."
There wasn't any yeah, we were sitting at the table outside of that place, and I was just I was just beside myself. I was like, this was an effing deal, and I somehow managed to botch it.
Yeah,
I was so beside myself.
And you were a little bit surprised that I was able to tell that you wouldn't be able to receive feedback at that point in time.
Yeah, right? I mean, no, right, because as a human being, that was very observant to me. It was like, okay, I'm going to wait until 15 minutes from now because I felt you felt like anything you said, I wasn't going to hear. Right?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because if anybody's in a super high emotional state of mind, nothing's going to get through to that person, whether it's you or me or anyone.
Yeah,
right?
I totally agree. Totally agree.
It's not possible.
No, okay.
So that was a fun time. But literally every single time you and I went out into the field together and Nick would try to slow down his talk, but as soon as the conversation was over, Nick'd be like, "All right, guys, see you later." Every single time I'd be busting out laughing.
Okay, so
I missed that. I missed that, buddy.
Yeah, no, we had some good times in the field. Yeah, so me and Matt used to walk pretty much business to business. We would try and talk people into buying this product. But what I respected so unbelievably much about you, yeah, pretty much. We'll call it
4-star.
We'll call it 4 stars.
We'll call it 4 stars.
No, yeah. We went to a lot of businesses and we tried to help businesses bring in more customers. That was essentially the goal, and our product really did do that. But it really was hard to get people to bring down their wall. Everybody thought we were selling snake oil. Everybody thought we were selling snake oil, right? And that's just what it was. You had to kind of break through that. But I wanted to ask you, and I've talked about this before with you, you had a really unbelievable way with people to keep them in the direction that you wanted the conversation to go. Does that and I don't know, I think that's a gift, and I think that's also something that you would, in my opinion, you would have had to have mastered through your life. Because I feel in a real conversation with somebody, you know, they start to tangent, they start to feel like, I really don't want this. Your instinct is to be, you know, kind of empathetic. And you're like, all right, you know, but you were able to kind of cut through that. Why is that? Like, are people just dying to buy something and they don't know it? Or what? I mean, I don't know. Tell me something a little about that. Is that?
Yeah, I don't think that was, maybe it was like you said, it was a gift, right?
Yeah.
I don't think maybe it was deep down in there, but it wasn't just, I wasn't always like that. Like, I didn't always have that ability. I think it's a shit ton of failure,
Right.
like a shit ton of failure that I had.
Yeah.
And forcing myself to look at myself to get better, reading a ton of different books. I mean, I've always been absolutely fascinated with psychology, right? So before I got into sales, I never wanted to get into sales. I don't think I ever thought, I didn't think about getting into sales until a lot later, but I was super fascinated with psychology. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to help people.
Yeah.
That's always been what I wanted to do. So I read a ton of psychological books, something that I have always done. But it's just a lot of trial and error. And I think it's that like emotional intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Which a lot of people don't work on.
Yeah.
Which is, again, it's not a gift. I think any single person that wants to actually take the time to get better at that can get better at that.
Okay.
But
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, no. I was going to add on that. Like, if you're like a normal person, maybe you're not in sales, and maybe you have to go to a meeting and you have to try and talk somebody into it. Is there any advice that you could give to somebody, like, right off the bat?
100%.
Okay.
100%. So, like, if you think about it, like, you know, in some of those situations that you're talking about, when you and I were out there, and maybe a conversation wasn't going so well, right? Which is like all the time,
right?
Right?
Felt like every meeting. Felt like every meeting. Yeah.
What I would do, like whether you would notice it or not, is I would just connect with that person in some kind of way, shape, or form. Connect with them, like try to be genuinely interested in the person that I'm speaking to. Always. If you can show genuine interest with someone and be authentic, they can feel that.
Yeah.
And they like that. Everybody likes somebody that is actually genuinely interested in them, right?
Yeah, true. Very
like
true.
If you think about a girl, like if you think about it, you know, somebody that you date or whatever, like it's like who do they like? Well, they like somebody that really likes them.
Right.
That's who they like. Right. And so if you can get somebody, any conversation you're having, like to your point, whether you're in sales or not, if you can just practice being genuinely interested in somebody, you're going to be able to direct the conversation with them. What are you looking at, man? You're scaring me right now.
Oh, sorry. There was somebody commented, so I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing it. They were just ragging on us, so I was just making sure. I was going to add to that, kind of with the sales thing in mind. Maybe if like you're somebody that goes to like buy a car or something, because one of the things that like maybe a piece of advice for somebody, because I remember one thing that stood out to me. Well, a lot of things you did stood out to me. One was how unbelievably well you were able to set groundwork. You were able to start a conversation. Like you said, you would interact, you'd blend with somebody, but then you'd pepper in all these little like casual phrases that had nothing to do with the product we were selling, but then later on would end up paying massive dividends, right? And my best example was, and this was actually something that you stole from somebody else, but I'm not even going to give you shit for it because that is what sales is all about. So this was like, I think it was the girl from Texas.
Wait, how'd you know I stole it?
Because I listened to her pitch. I listened to her do it. It's the girl from Texas. I can't remember her name, but yeah. So she was a rock star. But one of the things she said was one of the problems with our system was you had to put in your phone number. The hiccup there is old people don't want to put in their phone number, that's the misconceptions that old people don't want to put.
Process.
Right, they're scared of it. Yeah. So what she would do early on in her pitch, she would say to them, I mean, this product is, you got to put your phone number in. And my grandmother, like, she uses it all the time. She loves it. She gets all excited when she gets to put her phone number in. She would just slip it in. And then 30 minutes later, All of a sudden, we're starting to get time to close the door, and all these objections start coming out, and they're like, I don't know if old people want to put their phone number in. You're like, remember I told you about Grandma Jean?
You're so ridiculous.
Oh, dude, that was one of my favorites. I'll use that forever, bro. That is one of my
Yeah,
absolute
yeah.
favorites. So, let's say in my car is like somebody's trying to buy a car, a used car. Anything that somebody could look out for, or a way to handle themselves
100%.
better? Okay.
100%. So I love the car example, right?
Okay.
Because my brother is terrified of going and buying a car because he doesn't want to deal with the process. He doesn't want to deal with the sales. And I think there's a lot of people that don't want to deal with that shit.
I don't. I
Right?
don't like it, right? It's uncomfortable. It's like
Yeah,
somebody comes up to you in
so I
stores,
look
like, can I help
forward
you?
to
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they should give out
want-
badges at the store, like a green one if I need help, a yellow one if like you see me after 10 minutes and I still maybe need help,
black one
and
that
then a
says,
black
"Leave
one
me
just leave me alone.
Yeah, correct.
I'm here for 3 nails.
Correct.
It's relax.
Yep, correct. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
So that's pretty funny. I like that. So if you can just realize when you're going into that situation, whatever high pressure situation it is, it's a freaking game. That's all it is.
Mhm.
It's a game. There's no need to back down from it. There's no need to be intimidated. There's none of that stuff.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right. So my brother, when he buys a car, he just does all the possible research that he can possibly do, and he's not willing to play that game at all. But you're shooting yourself in the foot like big time by doing that. And so like Josh
Yeah.
bought a car last night.
Mhm.
Well, he wasn't willing to play the game, so he probably could have gotten a much better deal because he wasn't willing to play that game. So if you could just go into with the concept that like this doesn't matter, this is just a conversation between me and somebody else,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It makes it a whole lot easier. Like when I bought a car, the last time I bought a car, I walked out on them for like a week, but I kept coming back like, hey man, I really want this car. I really want this car. And I just kept pushing them and giving them more and more reasons why, they needed to give me a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And he did this entire like drama play. Like when I came back on the last time I came back, I was like, dude, I really want that car. Like, what can you do for me?
Yeah.
Just bring it down a little bit. And he looked at me and he had papers in his hand. He's like, let me see what I can do. So they go in the office for like 20 minutes or whatever. They're not talking about anything.
Yeah.
And when he came back, he gave me like half of what I asked for, right? And when I was signing the paperwork, because I'm fascinated with sales again, because it's just the human interaction, the psychology about it. I say, hey man, at the end there, when you put up that big stink and all that, was that real? And he looked at me. He's like, no, of course not. And I was like, good job.
Nice.
Like it's just a game.
Yeah.
He didn't care.
Yeah.
It was just the game.
That's really important. I feel bad for this guy. He had no idea what he was in for with you. But I think it's great what you said about him going into the back room and pretending to do something. That is one of the oldest shticks in the book, right? The old, like, I got to go talk to my manager.
Yeah, I told you to do it, right? Like, hey, let me call my boss. See if I can get. Yeah.
It
Or
worked.
get you a discount on
It
this
was
thing.
the most unbelievable hook and bait ever.
Well, we've talked about this before with JCPenney. They had a huge issue where they had a new CEO come in, and the CEO said, we're just going to lower our prices across the board, and we're not going to have sales anymore. We're just going to have the cheapest things we can possibly do. And their sales crashed, and they literally almost went bankrupt. So they had to literally raise their prices and do fake sales all the time, and people bought the hell out of it.
Yeah, it's like when you go to Ralph's, do you really think that's the sale? No, it's just they put some high number up and then they put the number that they really want to sell it at.
Yeah.
Oh, these are on sale. $3 today. You're like, oh hell yeah, buy 12.
Yeah, I know. I totally
Although
This 12 pack of Coke is $27, but it's on sale for $3.99.
all right, that is a deal.
That's a pretty good
I
deal.
do have a question that I've been wondering about. Why is it when I go to 7-Eleven, every deal requires me to buy 2 or 3 of something instead of like them just lowering the price on one item?
People more
It's
committal.
interesting.
It's just like I go in, I want a bottle of water. They're like, yeah, you can have this one for like $1.89, but if you buy 2, it's like $2.50. I would rather just pay like the $175 for the
one.
one.
Yeah, get out of there.
Like,
Yeah.
Just like now I got 2 bottles of water to deal with, and I don't need that much liquid.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's the.
Interesting point, man. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just curious, but it's weird because it's like at 7-Eleven, it's a thing. Like these, I don't know if they're just trying to move product faster, like because it
Probably.
sits on the shelves too long. It
Yeah,
just seems
probably.
like a weird thing, like because
I mean, yeah, the longer a product stays in the store, the chances that it's going to get damaged or whatever. So they want to get rid of everything as soon as possible.
Totally agree. I also did, just to kind of jump on that. I believe that their numbers probably show that people come in to buy one thing, and if they can talk you into buying 2, then they'll do it. That's
Yeah.
that's how I believe. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and switch it up here. If you have any more sales stuff that you want to get into, we will definitely do it. I love the sales talk. I mean, honestly, man, like the story about like the grandma thing. I mean, there's so much that sales does like that. Like you said, going to the back room. Somebody in the chat who worked at Verizon said, I can't tell you how many times I went into the back room. So, you know.
go smoke a cigarette outside, come back in.
Right. So it's a very
Yeah.
classic
Well,
shtick.
I think the best thing about sales for anybody, whether they think they're naturally good at it or not, is I think anybody would benefit from doing sales for at least 1 year.
Yeah.
Anybody. Because I think what you learn in sales applies to every single aspect of your life, which is why it's such a cool career, why it's such a cool thing to be involved in. Like, you know, all the stuff like that I teach and do on the team meetings and all that stuff, that equates to every part of life.
Right.
Every single part of life.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody's afraid of rejection. Right. Everybody wants to be able to handle conversations better. Everybody wants to be able to lead somebody to what they want them to do.
Right. No.
I mean, think about how much better your relationship with your girl is going to go if you can get her to do what you want her to do. Right.
Hey.
So, yeah. Yeah. Hopefully your girl's not listening to you. Yeah. But yeah, it equates to all of life.
I was gonna say, kind of to jump on that, was one of the things that I struggle with because I can always feel myself as that person.
Yeah.
Was I never wanted to railroad over somebody, so to speak, and just push them into something that they didn't want. But you had actually explained to me a while back that people want to make choices. They want to take risks. They want to try new things, and don't feel bad about pushing him into it because sometimes people are just scared. It's not that they don't actually even want it. Is that fair? It's not most people want something. They just want to be literally shoved into it. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fair to say, and it also depends on what you're selling. I mean, like
I
if
was
you're
gonna
selling
say
something
that.
that's if you're selling something that's actually not beneficial to that person, you're just a scumbag at that point, right?
Yeah.
But if you're actually doing something, you're providing somebody with a product or service that's actually going to help them, and they don't know that.
Yeah.
There's no problem with kind of getting them to see that this is important for them and this is going to be helpful to them.
Yeah.
If I'm selling something that I don't think is going to help that person, then I'm just being those kind of people are those are the types of people that make people not like salespeople.
Like
Right.
the
Those are
timeshare
types of
people.
or the old stereotypical car salesman.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not like that. A true salesman isn't like that.
No.
At all.
I also think everyone should work at least 1 year in the service industry, waiting
Agreed.
tables, just to realize how you get treated as a human being.
Yeah.
Oh,
I also was going to say the one piece of advice I would give to people is something that I learned from here, which is as a salesperson, you have a much better chance of closing a deal right after you've given your strongest presentation, not the day after. Because the very moment people go on instinct and emotion, if you give them a night to think about it, then they start to use logic, right?
Rational.
Right.
like a bunch of nerds.
yeah.
No, so that's good. As a consumer, though, if you're thinking really hard about buying something expensive, a night of sleep is probably a good idea. Is that fair to say, right? Yeah.
If you're a consumer?
Yes.
If you're a consumer?
Yes.
Yes. That's why when Josh again went to that freaking car dealership yesterday for the first time.
Josh is a buddy of mine that was in a program as well. So go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
A fellow coworker of Nick's and somebody that I managed to. You don't buy something the first day you're looking for something. That'd be the worst idea ever. You want to take your time. You want to sleep on it. But guess what? He bought, right? Because he bought on impulse.
Yeah.
Not a good idea. Not a good idea.
And that's you
On
said
the flip
emotion.
side, yeah, you want to get people to buy an emotion. 100%.
Somebody in the chat said, while I have your attention, is anyone interested in extending their car warranty? So that's good.
Nope. Josh is actually Josh probably is.
Yeah, he wants that undercoat too.
Somebody wants to know if you're the person always calling them.
Probably.
Okay. So let's switch it up here. Maybe get into something a little bit deeper outside of sales here. One of the things that you have gone through in your life, which I introduced, was you have dealt with addiction issues. You've dealt with the lows and the highs. Before, just kind of to break into that easy enough, I wanted to ask you, what are some motivational ideas or quotes or theories that you have lived by that have helped you out? I know that's a big, massive question, but whatever you grab, whatever you grab from that.
I mean, I don't have one particular motivational, because I read so much, I'm always just trying to consume knowledge and educate myself. But I think the one that I always go back to, which I'm sure I brought on the team meeting a bunch of times, Nick, is that life starts outside of your comfort zone, period. For anybody.
That is.
Life starts outside of my comfort zone.
I'm going to give you an air horn. That's an unbelievable quote. That's an unbelievable quote. Life starts outside of your comfort zone.
Okay, and so the problem I think the majority of us, myself included, because I struggle every single day, is the reason why we're so miserable, or that we're struggling, or that we're suffering, or that we're not happy with our jobs or our relationship or whatever, is because we're staying comfortable, period. We're not having that difficult conversation. We're not standing up for ourselves. We're not going out there because of the fear of being judged or the fear of failure or whatever, but we're shooting we're literally dying by doing that, right? Everything that's good in my life that has ever happened is because I stepped outside of my comfort zone. Everything.
I heard a comedian say one time that I've always forget, very similar, which is that anything that's ever good in my life, I had butterflies in my stomach before it happened. And
that's
I feel
right. That's exactly right.
You know what I mean? I think that's a really good quote, because I'm reading a book right now, which I showed you. It's called Stop Doing That Shit. It's about kind of getting rid of those self-sabotaging things that we do to ourselves, and that kind of slow us down in life. And one of the things the book really touches on is that we as humans, we understand that there's other things that we could be doing, but we are addicted to the life that is most comfortable for us, right?
Right.
And so, and the book has a quote in there, something about if you want an extraordinary life, you can't keep you can't keep doing ordinary things, right? And so I was going to ask you, just like in your life, like what's some things that you have stepped out of your comfort zone to work on? I know you said getting up early. You said, or like stuff like that.
No, it's like every single aspect of my life started outside of my comfort zone. I didn't want to do sales. Like I was like the most insecure, the most scared, the most in my shell person ever. Like growing up.
That's a lie.
You know?
I'm just kidding.
I swear to God, dude. I swear to God. So, I have tons and tons and tons and tons of fears, right? So everything that I've done is I try to challenge my comfort zone. Yeah, I get up early every single day. I hate waking up early, by the way. I absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
What do you consider early?
I hate running. What do I consider early? Like between 5 and 5:30?
Okay.
I would consider that early.
Well, no,
you got me. You got me, bro.
No, that's about what, like back in the pre-COVID days. That's when I would get up for work, though.
Oh, pre-COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
now my commute's a little bit shorter, so I get to sleep in a little bit.
I get up at that time too to go pee, and then go back to
then
bed.
you still got to get up. You still got to get up. So the reason why I do stuff like that, the reason why I like to run. Who likes running? Like I don't like running, but it's the mental thing. It's the mental strength that I get from running. When I go run 5 miles in the morning, the difficult conversations that I have to have during the day aren't so difficult anymore. The presentations that I got to give to my boss aren't so difficult anymore. Everything builds off of everything else. Momentum is a result of the actions that we take. Like everybody's like, oh, I need to be motivated, or oh, I need to feel good before I do blah blah. It's like no, it doesn't work that way. Those things are byproducts of the shit that I do that I don't want to do.
Oh yeah,
you're just spitting knowledge right now. It actually reminds me.
Momentum thing is so big for me.
So big.
Like I'll get up and like I try and do something productive almost immediately. whether it's just
Yes.
throwing the laundry into the washing machine early. And
Make
then
your
it's just,
bed.
Yes.
like, just something. And then you're like, oh, okay, I did that. Let me walk over
That's
here and
right.
like, wash these dishes, or let me do this. And like, you just keep going. But then you sit down, you're like, maybe flip on this TV. And then all of
Yeah.
a sudden I
Yeah,
got
man,
nothing.
Dude, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's a daily challenge. It's
What-
a daily struggle.
One of the other quotes I have in the book, which I'll probably keep referencing, but one of the other quotes I had was, "If your goal in life is to try and be happy, then by definition you are starting from a place of unhappy." And I think
I love it.
yeah, me too, because that's really important to me, because I've actually said for years now I just want to find a place to be happy. And what I'm saying is I'm trying to grow as a person, and one of the things that I have learned is I can't keep saying that. I can't keep saying I want to be happy. I can't. It actually is counterproductive to what I want to do.
Yeah.
If I want to be happy, then I've got to go do things that make me really uncomfortable. And then
Hell yeah.
by the time it's all done, you say you look back, you're like, man, that was fucking awesome, right? Like that's where happiness comes from.
So you want to go jump out of a plane?
now, let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy.
You said you want to be uncomfortable.
That I would be literally unconscious. So that's about as uncomfortable as I'm going to get. Yeah, you kind of touched on one of the myths that I wanted to talk about with confidence, which is that you need to be born confident. That's what a lot of people think. Like, just like it's like a personality thing. You have to be born confident. If you're somebody that's not confident, because let me tell a story real quick to kind of set the stage, and I think this will help you. But you used to do something with me in the field. And as I grew to understand you as a person more, I grew to understand that this thing that you were doing was not only for my benefit, but just as much for your benefit as well. And what you would do is you would start conversations completely randomly with people that were wildly unsuspecting of these conversations, right? The specific example is that there was like a Latino lady on the street, and you asked her if you could have a piece of her bread, and before you know it, she was like offering you bread, right? Like, it's just nonsense, right? But that's
Asked her for
something.
a kiss. I asked her for a kiss after.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I will say I am the magnet for those people talking to me.
Okay. Yeah.
I am
Stay
constant.
away, bro.
I
Stay
know.
away.
I know. Pretty soon you're gonna be asking me for a kiss. But like, I'll be walking down the street and it's just like, that's the guy I want to talk to.
That's the guy I want to say what's up to. Now, those people are just being obnoxious. Matt was doing it, though, like I said, because it was something that even you, like you're saying, you said you used to be almost more of an introvert. Something like as basic as starting a conversation with somebody. I remember the other example you used to do. You're such a weirdo, bro. The other example you used to do is you like go to like a place and like there'd be like glass windows and you would just stare into the window at people just to like mess with people, right? But like more of it was for you. At the time I thought this guy's just ridiculous. He's just messing with people, right? But what actually I learned is like not really. What you're learning is like you're forcing yourself to be uncomfortable. That's what you're really doing, right?
Yeah, that's right. So so with those examples here, there's like a bunch of different things that's taking place during those examples. You said the confidence thing, but we're not always in a state where we want to be social. We're not always in a state where we want to talk. I don't know, but maybe you guys, because you guys just like are just blabbing all. Yeah, you guys.
No, as soon as the show's over, we kind of just veg out for like an hour. We just thought,
Don't even really talk to each other for like 20 minutes.
We're just done, dude. Yeah.
So like, somebody's doing cold sales and you're walking through doors where people don't necessarily want you to be walking through their door and offering these. Like, you don't always look forward to that every morning, right? Like you don't wake up and like, hey, I'm looking forward to having people tell me to fuck off and get out of business, right?
Another great day.
There's a bunch of things going on when you just have random conversations with strangers out of the blue. Is one, it gets my juices flowing. So it's like similar to what I said about momentum is created as a byproduct of the actions that I'm taking. So then my juices get flowing. The other thing that happens is I realize that it doesn't matter if somebody's judging me, because everybody has a fear of being judged. All of us do. It keeps us from doing a lot of things that maybe we want to do. And so the more ridiculous things that we can do in public, which is forcing us to be judged. Like, I know I'm being judged if I look like a freaking weirdo and I have my nose up against the glass window at a restaurant and everybody's looking at me.
Right.
And I just keep staring straight. Like, I've done that before for like 5 or 10 minutes where like the employees
Oh no.
come out like the manager, and I just don't move. my heart's pounding, right? Because I am for sure being judged by a lot of people. So it's like I'm creating, it's like I'm building strength. It's like working out. It's like everything, right?
Yeah.
So muscle is being built. So you get in the zone, you stop caring what other people think about you. That's another thing that you were talking about. The less I can care about what somebody thinks about me, the more successful I'm going to be, period.
I think it's great. I was gonna kind of just because you're segueing so beautifully here. It's almost like literally feels like we planned this, which we didn't.
Yeah.
But
Yes, we never plan anything.
no, I mean we didn't plan the conversation, but I mean I don't know where. One of the things that that stood out to me. God damn it! I wish I had it. I should have these more marked here. Is oh damn it! Hold on one second. Sorry, I lost it. I'm sorry, dude. Wait, it doesn't matter. Basically, yeah. What you were talking about is did he cut out? Oh no, did we lose him?
Hopefully not. No, he's back.
Okay, so sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Okay, no. So one of the quotes in the book talks about how we are addicted to the version of ourselves that we are right now, and we spend so it talks about. So the book specifically talks about how like at age 2, you're not a person. You don't have a personality. You don't have anything. You're just like an empty slate, right? And then as you go through your life, you get 15, 16, 17 years old. Now you've created this. Almost imaginary aura of who you are and who you see yourself as, right? And then the book says that you spend the rest of your life trying to perpetuate that myth. You want to show everybody that this is who I am at all times. And with the confidence thing is, what I like about that so much is that you don't like, okay, here's a great example. Me and my brother went to Home Depot the other day, right? And I'm standing there and there's a security guard standing out front. And this guy is probably 50 years old. He's got, I went up to him, I'm like one of these guys. I'm like, hey, what's up? And I just nod to him, and he just like glares, right? He's got like this nasty like bulldog face, right? And I got in the car, and I said to my brother, I said, this is what I'm talking about. This guy is perpetuating the myth in his head that he's a badass, right? I'm a badass all day, and if I smile for 5 seconds, then now I'm not a badass anymore, right?
Yeah.
Kanye West.
No, yeah. So for me, like that was really important for me to read. Is that like you're not ego, right?
That's ego shit.
Yeah, I thought that was really great, and that, like I said, that was a great example to see that for me because it was like, oh, like just because I think I'm a certain way doesn't mean I have to show that to everybody all the time. You know what I mean? So I thought that was really great. Let's see what else here. What else?
Sounds kind of similar. That sounds kind of similar to like the. You know, they talk about how our subconscious mind gets programmed in the first seven years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then following that, all those thoughts that we have, those subconscious thoughts, those programs that got put into our system at that age, we still live by those programs. They might not necessarily be the best programs,
right?
My programs weren't so good.
Right.
They were not good. I still fight those fuckers every day.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I think
I'm really glad I'm not stuck on my middle school programs because I would be not a great person.
Yeah, I mean, like my brother.
I'd be listening to terrible music.
My brother just said something to me the other day, and it was like just off topic, but he said if something doesn't work for you anymore, then get rid of it. And so that was kind of the same thing. It's like if something like if maybe you used to be like you went to like a grimy high school, so you had to be tough, or maybe you were like part of the science squad, so you had to be nerdy and smart all the time, or maybe whatever. Yeah. Maybe you were part of the popular squad, and so you still. But again, maybe that part of your personality isn't required anymore. You know,
it's a lot easier said than done, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the ego is like what's we're like protecting ourselves by doing that from the reality of, again, in my opinion, is the fear of being judged and the fear of failing and all that. And it takes work. It takes work and the ability to look at somebody, look at oneself completely honestly in the mirror and do a true inventory of like who we truly are.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. What were you saying?
Yeah. I was just saying, like, yeah, it's like great. Like we all have these like awesome thoughts at like 2 a.m. right before we go to bed or something like that. And you're like, yo, tomorrow I'm going to get up early. I'm going to run. Then I'm going to make myself a smoothie. And then I'm going to like, do this. And I'm going to be this. And I'm going to do this. And I'm awesome. And then you wait. And then like you get up and it's like, man, but I could hit the snooze button and go back to bed. Yeah. Like that's absolutely right, but the doing it is such a like.
It kind of relates to the quote I gave you the other day, which from the book, which I really liked, was he said that everybody makes all these excuses about themselves that they've been like almost programmed to believe. I'm somebody with no willpower, or I'm somebody that doesn't have self-discipline, or I'm somebody that is a procrastinator. And the book says these are things that you do They're not who you are. You can not do that anytime that you want. He said, yeah, we all poop, but you don't walk around like, I'm a pooper. You know, like that's not really, it's not applicable. You know, like it doesn't, everybody does that. Everybody procrastinates. Everybody forgets things. But if you do it all the time, that where the path leads. So I think that's really
like
great.
it.
Let's break the monotony up though a little bit.
I think so.
Okay,
It's time for a little spice.
let's get back into what we do as best as a show, which is really bad humor. So we're gonna have you're a Oakland A's fan. You're a San Francisco 49ers fan.
Yeah.
Neither one of these will help you at all.
No, but the only thing that's relative is baseball. That's really all we got for you. But we got a game for you. Lamb has prepared a list. Some of these names are real baseball players.
Uh-oh.
The other part are porn stars, okay? And we need you to tell me if it's a baseball player or a porn star, okay? And you're going to understand how difficult it is once the game starts here, okay?
Yeah, we're going to start out with an easy one.
Okay, good.
I would hope you know this one. The big unit.
Porn star. No, I'm just kidding. Baseball.
Yeah,
okay.
baseball, Randy Johnson.
Randy Johnson, the big unit. Okay, I'll give you an air horn for that because you got off to a good start.
So that's kind of the theme here.
Little double entendre, but I like it. Okay, what do you got?
All right, next one. Kid Nichols.
Kid Nichols.
Kid Nichols.
Baseball.
You are correct.
Okay, Kid Nichols.
All
okay. Give you an air horn.
They get a lot tougher.
Okay, let's get
We're
into
building,
it.
we're building.
What do you got?
So it's all nicknames, I'm assuming. Right?
It's what they're listed under in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
These
correct.
are all Hall of Fame baseball players, by the way.
Correct.
Wow.
So we're not even reaching deep into the.
Yeah. Hey, Steve, what's up, brother? I'm gonna give you an air horn. All right. Go
All
ahead.
right, we got Tom Wanks.
Porn star.
That is correct.
Damn. All right. Tom Wanks. I was gonna say baseball player.
All right, we got Buck Ewing.
Baseball.
That is correct.
No, he's on fire, bro. All right, here we go.
We got Mick Blue.
McBlue.
Ooh, man. I got to keep my streak going. Baseball.
Porn star.
Oh,
I knew it.
Yeah, McBlue. All right, he's a porn star.
Yep.
That's a great name.
King Kelly.
Ooh, King Kelly.
Porn star.
Wrong.
Oh, he's a
baseball player.
He's got the first name King. What a jackass. All right.
All right, we got Johnny Castle.
Oh, man. I'm losing my confidence, bro. Baseball.
I'm lost.
Wrong. That is a porn star.
I can actually see the list and I can't tell you what they are. So there we go. Yeah. I gave you an air horn for accident. Whatever.
We got
For
Ga-
failing.
yeah, we got Gaylord Perry.
Baseball?
That is a baseball player.
All right. Give me like two more. Give me your best ones.
Ooh, we got Pee Wee Reese.
That's all we can hope for, dude. Just make somebody laugh with the name Pee Wee, dude. That's all. We should just end the show right now. All right.
Baseball?
That is correct.
He's right on. All right, here we go.
We got
No,
Candy Cummings.
porn star.
That is incorrect.
What?
That is a baseball player.
Candy Cummings?
Yep.
Hall of Famer. nonetheless.
Hall of Fame baseball
Oh,
player,
man.
Candy Cummings.
Wow.
Wow.
That poor guy. He got
It was
beat
like
up
from
so many
I
times.
think it was from like the 20s.
Okay, all
So-
right. You got any more? One last one?
What else we got here?
Give me,
All right,
one
here's
last-
a good one.
Last one.
You probably know this one, but Raleigh Fingers.
Come on, guys. Baseball player.
That's a baseball player. I knew you'd know it, but it's still a great porn star name too.
That is a great.
That is a good part.
All right, so we'll give you. I think you got like
Better
10 out of
baseball
11
Yeah,
there.
I'd give him like passing grade.
10 out of 11.
I don't know, just
Nah,
making
he
them-
got like 7 out of
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Maybe 3 out of 27. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's right. All right, so let's get back into. I got a couple more questions, and maybe we'll let you go here.
Okay, buddy. Okay.
Let's talk about. I don't know. I want to talk about either setting yourself up for success, self-sabotage, or maybe addiction. What would you rather talk about? All fun.
I mean, we can talk about addiction because I think everybody struggles with addiction.
Okay.
But maybe just not at the same level that I do. But
Okay, so you struggled with it
Yep.
for many, many years, and I vaguely remember that it was multiple things that you were struggling with.
Yeah.
Is that right?
absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead, tell
I
your
still
story.
do.
Tell your story.
I still do. But yeah, I was a pretty low end drug addict, and let's see, I overdosed, and I was in the ICU back in 2007. So like back in the beginning of 2007, I was pretty close to being dead. I overdosed on cocaine, OxyContin, Xanax, all that stuff was just in my system to the core. My kidneys were shutting down. It was my kidneys or my liver, one of those,
Yeah.
right? And so
You were taking all
That
that
was-
daily, most of that, or weekly, or
yeah, I had a pretty good habit going on.
Okay,
you know?
okay.
I had a
Just
pretty
just
good-
at happy
it's not-
hour, like
yeah, okay.
It's not good to be a drug dealer and a drug addict. at the same time.
ah,
That-
yeah.
that- that was my
What's the
my
quote?
My
Don't get high on your own
don't
supply.
get high on your own supply. Yeah, I
That's
didn't
good life
follow-
advice. Yeah.
I didn't follow that rule very well. And I listened to Biggie, you know.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
almost
so-
introduced you with Wu Tang today, by the way. I almost did. Yeah, so that was.
Ooh,
Yeah, I know. I almost did
We
it.
were worried about copyright
We were
issues.
worried about
though.
copyright, but I was gonna blast Wu Tang when you came in. And just I thought it'd been a cool intro. Anyway.
Yeah, so that's what my aspirations were from the age of 14 to whatever, 22, 23. It was just to be a drug lord, you know. So that's how messed up my brain was.
Yeah.
Right? So, but obviously, I wasn't happy. I was not happy whatsoever. So that incident kind of spurred me to the start of my new life. I guess I would call it is that. And so after that happened, I sobered up. I ended up in a treatment center in Southern California, and you know, I've been sober ever since, but I still struggle with addiction. Addictions get replaced all the time, you know.
What was
for
your,
all of us.
what's you said at
But-
the beginning of the show when we were talking to you? What's your new addiction? What remember you said when we started the show? You were off air.
Well, I mean, I've had plenty, but caffeine.
Caffeine, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's one I'm not willing to. I won't. I don't think I'll ever let go of that.
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
right? I love caffeine. Eating sugar. Not me, but tons of people are addicted to social media. It's like dopamine, getting dopamine kicks, right?
Mhm.
Look, whatever way we can. So,
I was gonna
my
ask
goal
maybe.
is-
Okay, I was gonna ask you maybe just spawn a thought. Was when I saw a myth the other day, and there was people trying to debunk it. Was that addiction is a personality type, not something that like everybody is prone to. Would you agree or disagree with that?
I think things have changed a little bit. I think not everybody is an addict in the way that I was, but I also think that the way that the world has been set up today is that a lot of people can fall victim to becoming addicted to things just because we have too much going on right now.
Mhm.
Like too much.
I think there's
You know what
also
I'm saying?
socially acceptable addictions, like you said, like social media, like people that are like on their phone constantly. Like
It's
nobody's gonna say to them they're addicted.
Right.
It's
Like
horrible.
yeah, but it's not good for you.
It's not good for you at all. Like I feel so sorry for like teenagers these days, dude. Like I was an insecure kid. I couldn't imagine having to go through it now.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Facebook and social media. And all
There's
that.
like maybe one picture of me from middle school, and thank God for that. I can't imagine there being like on social media everywhere. Like
Okay, so let's say somebody out there maybe where would you put the line? Okay, so you were dealing with a lot of things that you were addicted to, and you said you were doing it because you're unhappy. What's some advice you would give to somebody that maybe is going through it, or how you can stay away from those habits?
Well, I think once you become addicted, you're screwed. Like honestly, like if like to your point, like if you're deep down, if you just have addiction problems, like social media addiction, that can be broken. That can be broken. You just gotta stop the social media, right?
Yeah, right.
Social media. But if somebody truly is an addict, it's not just something that can be stopped on his or her own.
Why,
know what I mean?
Yeah, and
So-
let's say you are happy though. Why would you still crave the addiction? Why would somebody who's happy still crave that?
Because it's inside of them. Like you could say somebody on the outside, everything looks good for them,
Yeah,
but why do they keep doing that?
right.
Why do they keep going down that path? Like
Right.
that person knows every time that he gets drunk,
Yeah,
or every time he has one drink, like 2 weeks later, like he's completely MIA and missing or whatever. Like you can do that with any type of situation, right?
Right.
They don't have the power of choosing whether or not they're gonna stop or not.
Right.
They just don't. Somebody who truly has that addiction.
And
That's a tough thing to break.
yeah.
And the other difficult issue with that is that if somebody struggles with addiction or alcoholism or whatever, it's all pretty much the same. It's like the only disease out there that has to be self-diagnosed. If somebody else tells me I'm an addict, I don't want to hear that shit.
Right.
It's like fuck you, I'm not an addict.
Yeah. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's tough. That's a tricky situation.
Somebody has to come to terms with it themselves, and that's why a lot of times when people go do the rehab stints and stuff, if like the family kind of pushed them into it, they don't, it doesn't end up like lasting or anything.
That's right.
Yeah, I was looking up all sorts of myths and stuff, and one of them was that like if you're trying to cut something out of your life, maybe it's not like a addiction like that, but maybe you're trying to cut something out of your life that is wildly unhealthy. One of the things it states is that you shouldn't beat yourself if you have a small relapse, to just continue to try and keep pushing. I thought that was a really important quote when I read that, because it felt like, for me, it's like my brother says this to me, and I think it's one of the best pieces of advice is like if I'm trying to eat right. This is my basic example. If I'm trying to eat right, and then all of a sudden like Thanksgiving comes up and I eat like shit on Thursday, and then there's sports on Friday, so I eat like shit again, and then Saturday, let's get a pizza, and then Sunday's Chinese food, right? And I'm just getting it. Then Monday,
Just getting it, dude.
I just I put on 60 pounds in like a week and a half, right? Like, what happened? But my brother always says that Monday's a new day. You can still start fresh. And I feel like people are really hard on themselves if they do take one step backwards.
Perfectionism, man. Perfectionism. Like one of my favorite books that I read every day is called The Spirituality of Imperfection. And there's a paragraph in that book that talks about kind of what you're talking about is we're all going to get angry. We're all going to mess up. We're all going to fall back. We're all going to, be judgmental or whatever. Right. So if I'm angry, don't get angry at myself for being angry. If I get impatient, don't be impatient because I'm being impatient.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Hey, if I mess up, oh well, it's all good. I messed up.
Yeah.
Like, tomorrow's not even a new day. It's 5:00. I just messed up. Let me start my day over right now. I can start my day over right now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But that's difficult because we are perfectionists. Like, well, not everybody, but that's something that I struggle with big time.
Yeah.
I'm such a perfectionist that if I fall off, it's like, dude, I'm a loser. Like, I'll be like, I'm an idiot. I'm a loser. I'm never gonna get it. Right.
Yeah.
So I can completely relate to what you're talking about there. And I think a lot of people for sure struggle with it.
Yeah, I just think it's such a great piece of advice because my brother always says it like, and he's somebody that, to be honest, my brother, since maybe I would say 18, has never gone more than 2 months without getting back to working out. He's just been religious forever. He just has realized for a very long time that for his mental health, it is the absolute best thing he can do, and he has just come to terms with it, and he doesn't care if he takes a week off because of whatever. He will always come back to it. I think that mind frame is actually calming for a guy like me to know that I will mess up again, but that doesn't take me off the track, right?
It's similar to what you mentioned, like, 20 minutes ago or so, when you said you were just trying to be happy, or like, can I just be happy? I just want to be happy. And like, when you were saying that, I remembered I shared at a meeting like years ago, like 10 years ago. I was like, man, I've been trying forever to just be happy. And the more I try to be happy, the more miserable I become. But if I focus on being healthy, not happy. So for me, it's physical health, emotional health, mental health, spiritual health. If I focus on those 4 things on a daily, doesn't have to be a lot, I actually end up feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Feeling pretty happy.
Yeah, right.
I'm not thinking about being happy.
Yeah.
Not to keep coming back to this, but do you think like the social media is making this worse? Because
100%.
I'm seeing, you see, like, you go through your feed and say you follow a bunch of fitness people. They have the perfect lighting. They have no water in their body. They have all this stuff going on. They're literally getting paid to look a certain way. Able to actually be in the gym 6 to 8 hours a day. That's like legitimately impossible for a normal person. Like, I remember back in the day, like when I was a kid, before any social media, you knew like Arnold Schwarzenegger was like jacked, and you knew like Sylvester Stallone was jacked. And then maybe you knew like one guy, if you went to the gym, there was like a guy at the gym who was like pretty jacked, but you didn't see every day like hundreds, and you feel like literally everyone's in shape but me. And like, I just feel like it's just constant, like These people, like, everything's perfect. Oh, this is me and my, like, Bora Bora jumping off the deck of my, like, super, like, $80,000 a night hotel. And, like, here's me swimming this infinity pool. And I'm like, man, I got to go to work. This sucks.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. Like, I'm a big, can you guys hear me? Because y'all are frozen right now.
Yeah, you're good. We're good. It's all good.
I'm pretty against social media, man, for that exact reason. People are selling a fantasy of their life, and it doesn't help anybody at all.
Yeah. I was going to say come back to my book again, just because it's a good kind of jump off point. But one of the things,
Nick's just really proud he read a book.
I know. I read like maybe 8, even 9 pages. Who knows? I literally just keep referencing everything like the first 3 pages.
There's so many things in here.
It's literally just like a Dr.
If you read the first 5 pages, you get everything Nick's got.
Yeah. I did.
We lost his video.
Now we did.
But your audio's still coming in, so you're good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, have you ever heard the phrase "the places you will go"? No, I'm just kidding.
1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish.
Very important stuff. No, one of the things that I read in the book, which I thought was, it made me just mulch over it for an hour, was the phrase, "We're all about self-fix and not self-improve." And so we're all about, man, I need to lose 20 pounds. And then I need to get a better job, or I need to get a better car. I need to look muscular. And people are like, if I can just get to that point, then I will be happy. But in all actuality, that's a self-fix. So all of a sudden you lose 20 pounds and you think I made it, I did it. But what actually happened is you didn't change anything about yourself, so you're still unhappy. And I think I think that was really profound to me, because like you said to me through text the other day, it's a never-ending cycle of self-improvement. And if you step off it, kind of, then you start to feel like you did it for nothing. I don't know if that makes sense, but I loved that quote. Self-fix is what we're after, but self-improvement is what we should be after, so to speak.
Yeah, people have the wrong motive. People always have the wrong motive. And it's very anticlimactic if you think about it that way. If you think about it the way, like, hey, man, once I hit that new personal record on my deadlift, I'm going to be so freaking happy. And then you do it and you're like, this is it? Like, seriously? Like, so it's the motives are incorrect. If my motive is self-improvement, right? And breaking through my comfort, like, again, breaking through another comfort zone, that never goes away. Like, that never goes away. Hey, I want to get a better job. It's not about getting a better job. It's about doing the things that will just put me in line to where a better job is going to happen. If I do all that stuff, those things are just going to happen.
Right.
Period.
Right.
So, yeah.
No, I love that. Yeah, no, I love the quote. That, like I said, there's been so many references in there that I thought were so unbelievably applicable to my own life, but to anybody's life. The self-fix thing really stood out to me, because I believe they call it clickbaiting your brain, in the sense of like, man, if I can just get here, I'll be happy. Boop, I did it. I'm not really that happy. I didn't really fix anything.
Yeah.
And I think, happiness in a certain sense is kind of you're not going to be happy every day no matter what your life looks like. And you've got to come to terms with the fact that you can only do the best that you can. The other thing that I really liked was it talks about how, I think I even said this to you, was we all start our life as many men and we die as one. We die as a singular person, a singular version of ourselves. And so I actually talk about that. I've talked about that for years before my book. I've always said that I feel like my life is this infinite amount of Nick Reganos that could be out there. And
that is a terrible situation.
Just yabbing people's heads off everywhere.
Oh my God, just a sea of Nick Reganos everywhere.
Just micro machines.
Micro machines everywhere.
I'll tell you what, though, there'd be a lot more information getting around, that's for sure.
It's maybe called The Talking Dead.
Yeah. If you had Nick Regano and Nick Regano and Nick Regano on a show, you've never heard so many words in an hour. That's 100% sure. But I've talked for a long time about how I feel. Maybe not there's like infinite universes, but there's multiple versions of myself, and I'd like to be. Everybody can be that better version of themselves if they want to be, And I think that kind of comes back to we're all kind of stuck in that comfort, what's easier. But what I really realized recently for myself, and I don't mean to tangent, but what I realized for myself recently is that comfort zone, no matter how actually comfortable it is, which it is, doesn't bring me any joy. it's like
Killing you.
it's neutral. It's like I'm not going anywhere. I'm not attaining anything. There's nothing new and exciting. I'm just flat. And yeah, the other one might take a lot of work, and but I don't know. To me, like the idea that you could have a multiple different versions of yourself and you settle on one that's mediocre,
Sad.
that's sad. It's a sad thought.
Sad, man.
Yeah.
Sad.
So I thought that was really cool. Let's see here. Oh, that's the wrong button. We're about to start a cell phone game. We don't need that.
Uh-oh.
No. So let me ask you. I'll ask you maybe like one more question. We'll get you out of here.
Okay,
Sa-
sir.
sa-
Okay, buddy.
Same thought, kind of in the same idea. Negative thoughts, kind of that same thought in your brain. So if you're trying to get to a next level in your own life, this is not something the book has said, but I've started to understand that you got to differentiate between what's a negative thought and what's a productive thought. What's like actually not true. And the book talks about like you are quite literally dyed the color of your thoughts. And so I really like that because you're basically, you're kind of showing everybody what you're really thinking inside. I don't know if that's something, obviously, as somebody that deals with addiction has that issue. How do you deal with the negative thoughts?
Wait.
I don't know.
You don't know if somebody with addiction has the issue of.
No, I said
what,
obviously
negative
somebody. No, I said obviously somebody with addiction that knows how to deal, has negative thoughts. Obviously, I mean that's just what it is.
I mean, it's a fun topic, right? Like, it's like we have like 60 or 70,000 thoughts in a day, right? So if somebody tells me, "Hey, man, just
Some
pay
have
attention
more.
to your thoughts," yeah, he has double that. Double, 120. So. Okay, so I have 60 or 70,000 thoughts a day, and somebody tells me, "Hey, man, like just pay attention to your thoughts and turn those around." It's like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to pay attention to all 60,000 thoughts that I have in a day, which goes back to that subconscious programming that we all have, right? So for me personally, I have so much negativity in my mind that I've been aware of for a long time, Nick. So like I'm further along in this journey maybe than you are, right?
Yeah.
But that's why it's so important for me personally to meditate. I meditated every day for over like 3 years. I haven't broken one day. That helps a lot because what that does is I get to see the insanity of my thoughts every single morning and every single day, right? And it helps me detach a little bit from my thoughts every single day. The other thing that I really live by is I can't think my way into acting better or feeling better, but I can act my way into thinking better. So it's kind of similar to what we've already talked about today. I go on a run, the rest of my day is going to be better.
Yeah.
I can't think my way into doing better. I can act my way though into thinking better.
That's a really good quote, man. I really no, I like that a lot. I think the negative thoughts thing, like you said, maybe you're obviously further along in the journey. But for me, it's like I said, I think people just struggle to understand what a negative thought is. And sometimes I think for people, like a thought will come into your brain, like I'm just not good enough at this to do this. That in your brain is a fact, not a thought. And I think that is what people struggle with. You know what I mean?
That's correct. They have an attachment to their thoughts. They think
Yes.
those thoughts are who they are.
Yes, an attachment to your thoughts. I really like the way you said that. Yeah, because you're like, I can't be wrong, right? Like my own brain can't be wrong. Like that's what's dangerous. You know what I mean? Your brain can be wrong.
Everybody should meditate because meditation can teach you to detach from those thoughts and realize those thoughts are just they're freaking thoughts.
Yeah,
that's all they are.
Yeah,
it's just some of those thoughts go over and over and over and over and over and over again in our brain, and we think that's who we are, but it's not.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Yeah, the book says we spend a lot of time in our life, on autopilot. How often do you actually sit and think? And you're talking about this meditation, and that's a time where you really do let your thoughts kind of roam. And sometimes really bringing those thoughts to the forefront of your brain, I think, is the best way to deal with them completely. So I think it's a really that's an important thought. But Matt, with that positivity, I think I'm gonna let you go, man. You've been here almost a smooth hour, and I'm dead ass serious, man. We would absolutely have you on again. I think there's a plethora of topics you could cover.
Plethora? Did you say a plethora?
I did. We could probably
That word was in the book.
Yeah. It was. I wrote it down. No. No. So I would love to have you back on. I'm sure there's a lot more there's a lot more subjects that we cover a lot more. Is that better for everybody?
Yeah.
I got way more baseball players or porn stars
Yeah,
too.
right. So we could do that. No, yeah, maybe we'll bring you back on. We do a sports show. Maybe we could have you back on for that. But like I said, some of this stuff, man, you've read so many books, and I remember sitting through your classes and whether or not classes, but your kind of your talks in the morning.
Meetings or whatever.
Yeah, your meetings. And I remember, like, not every meeting is going to register, but there was so many times where I thought, man, that's a really profound thought. And if I could just accept that thought, which was a struggle for me, then my life would be better. But just accepting that thought alone was difficult. So I got a lot out of you. I got a lot out of you today. We really appreciate that, man. I would love to have you back on. But, man, I hope the chat really, man, they really enjoyed it, too. There's been a lot of people talking in the chat. And to be honest with you, our numbers have been very steady. So
Yeah.
people have
enjoyed this chat.
People have not left, so that's really exciting. Matt, once again, man, very well done. Like I said, I would love to have you back on whenever you do, and I know you're searching for your next journey yourself right now. Is that right?
Yep.
Cool. So
Going
maybe
along the process right now, guys.
cool. So maybe next time we have you on here, hopefully, you'll have found a journey yourself. And maybe, like I said, if anything comes up, man, if you're ever thinking like, man, this is a really important subject, hit me up, man. We will have you on. We'll do this again.
I'm totally down. I really appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, it was great.
I absolutely loved it. So, yeah, man, people love it. So Matt is awesome. Matt is awesome. So, all right, man, I'm just going to end the show on that. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, I was going to try and do a little raid thing, but you can hang out for that.
Okay, yeah, we're going to raid. So what we do, Matt, just to kind of catch you up, we try and support the other community, right? So what we're going to do is right now, we're down to 10 viewers. We have 10 viewers right now. But what we're going to do is we're going to pick somebody that is trying to be a streamer, and we're going to drop all 10 viewers onto them. So it's kind of a cool thing. Everybody, like for people most people that stream, this is a cool stat. 99% of people that stream have less than 10 viewers. 99%. Wow. So the top 1%'s dominating, right? So we had like 13 or 14 today, so we were kind of cool. We were up there. We're in the 1%. Yeah. So very, very cool. But 99% don't. So I would say, and I'll be honest, Lamb would probably say this, 95% are at 1. Yeah. Right, and it's just them on their own phone, and that is 100% true. So it's kind of right now we're looking. There's 2 people on our list. We might have to do Zerko again. He's a badass. So we're gonna rate this guy, but so essentially, like right now we're looking at our list. There's 2 people right now with 1. There's 1 guy with 3, and then all the way at the top there's a guy with 47,000. Right, so it's like somewhere in the middle. Yeah, and this guy's making a ton of money. But we're gonna rate all these people. We're gonna drop in chat if you guys don't mind sticking here for 10 seconds. But that's it, man. That's all we got for today. Let's drop this raid. Matt, appreciate it as always, man. We're about to raid these fools.
All right, guys.
All right, brother.
Enjoy.
Thank you, sir.
I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, buddy. Later. What's going on?
Nothing. We're good.
Oh, we're raiding it?
Yeah.
Cool. I can never tell when it starts or stops.
That's cool.
About to hit him with the 10 spot, bro.
I may have Hey, what's going on? I appreciate the raid.
Let's go.
You got a raid, bro?
Yeah, I got a raid. This is support, man. You gotta love it.
Love it. How much? What did it say? How much? Hey, guys, thanks for following us along. Another good clip here. Make sure to catch us out on Twitch and hit that subscribe button right here.